everybody, this is Diane. Today is Monday morning. I just listed my Christmas Sweets journals and they are all sold. In fact, they all sold to one person. She has 3 granddaughters that she's going to be spending Christmas with and wanted to gift those Christmas Sweets journals to her granddaughters, and I just think that is a really great thing. So thank you so much for purchasing those journals. But I have more Christmas journals to make, and today we're going to be we're going to start on the Better Homes and Gardens Domestic Arts style of large journals. If you don't know what domestic arts style are, they are inspired by Gina from the Rebookery. That's the name of her YouTube channel and her shop, the Rebookery. And she did some journals out of large size crafting books, and she called hers home, oh, I forgot what she called them. But I loved that style, and I kind of adapted it for how I want to make them, and I call mine domestic arts because they are made with crafting books. And normally I would use like sewing pages, cooking pages, anything having to do with taking care of your home and your family. And but for the Christmas ones, they're more Christmassy themed than artsy themed, but they still do have that theme. But I use the same style. That's a long rambling introduction, I know, and I apologize. But these are both the same size. They are different years. This one has a matte cover and this one has a glossy cover. I had this book myself back in the day. This book is 1980. And my daughter was born in 1980, so she was a brand new baby when I had this book. And this one is 1984. They measure, I think it's 8 by 11. Yes, 8 by 11. So I have the covers removed from the book block, and the spine is gone. I'm going to create a new spine. I already cut my cardstock, or my chipboard, 2.5 inches wide for the spine. And I have pages that I selected that I thought would be really fun for using in these journals. So I have the pages from each book stored inside the covers for now. Let me show you what else I have. I've been prepping. I have some scrapbook papers. I don't have Christmas scrapbook paper, but I chose some that were, the colors would suit a Christmas themed journal, as you can see. These are all cut down to 10.5 inches in height for the height of the book. But even keeping them the 12 inches and folding them, they are too narrow. Now all the pages don't have to fit exactly. They don't have to be the right size for the book. They can be smaller, but I want some of the pages to be the right size. So what I have done, just as a beginning, I'm just starting on these books, but I took one of the pages, and these are the cut-off strips from the top, and I put that on one end, and on the other end, I took a page from a book of poems by Helen Steiner Rice and sewed that on so that it extends this page, and there's also a pocket right here. So that's one way to extend it. This one, and I'll talk more about what these pages are. I just took a scrap from one of my Christmas Sweets journals, so it's a wider scrap, and sewed it on there. And there's a little tuck spot right there. I'll have to, I don't have to add something there, but I can. It doesn't matter if that page is shorter. And on this one, I did the same thing with the poetry book. And I took a wide ribbon, it has wire in it, and I used my Tim Holtz big shears to cut that into the right length, and then pulled the wire out, and then I folded the ribbon over the edge. It's not a pocket or anything. It could have been. I could have made it into a pocket, but because there's no paper over here, this is just sewn onto the edge of the paper. So I just sewed it on. So it's just a decorative edge. So that's something else that you can do. And that's about all I've done to the papers. I got out my fabric pieces that I purchased from my friend Leslie's shop last year, and her shop is I'll link it, but these aren't in her shop anymore, but she always has fun things. Vintage Paper Emporium is the name of her Etsy shop. So this is half of what I have left from last year. I had so much fun using these in last year's journals, and I like to use them in the large books because some of them are pretty big pieces. So I divided them up, so this half will be in one of the books and the other half will be in the other book. And I will back them, most likely, back them with cardstock and use them as pockets or tuck spots. Maybe the smaller pieces I'll just add as embellishments to a page. Someone had already cut them out and then ironed them onto a stitch witchery type of thing where you would peel this off and then iron this onto your fabric. But I will just glue them to cardstock. And these make a really fun embellishment. Other things, let me just show you the pages that I have pulled. I haven't counted pages. I don't know what I have here as far as quantity, so I don't know if I will need to get more. Because I did pull the pages from the poetry book. It's this Helen Steiner Rice Christmas Blessings book. But then I decided to use them to extend the pages, so they are not going to be book pages. I have some pages from the Edith Holden books. These are December pages. And some of these items that I have pulled might not go in these books. They might wait for the next Christmas journal. This is the cover from an Ideals Christmas book that I could use. Page from a large teacher's planner book. I got a couple of those at Salvation Army recently. So I pulled pages from both. This one I just cut, and I will have to add on to those pages too. I thought they might be big enough, but they're not. From a little golden book that was not all there. The cover was destroyed and some of the pages were torn or missing. But I saved some of the pages that I can put these in one of the books, or both books. Vintage wrapping paper. I got quite an assortment of vintage wrapping paper at the flea market. Some vintage Christmas music pages from several different books. Some miscellaneous digital papers that were left over from other projects from last year. This one I printed this year, but I didn't use it where I thought I would, so these are just extra pages. Here's the back of that Ideals book. Look at that, that's pretty. So, and here are Ideals pages out of that book. So I have quite a few of them that I can use. And a children's craft book with Christmas pages. Some computer pages, computer stationery that you would print on. Maybe put your annual Christmas letter on. And some large doilies. And those are the teacher's pages. That's what I have pulled for pages, and I might have to get some more, like ledger paper or things like that. We'll just see what we have once we get going. I think there's quite a bit here, page-wise. What else have I done? I have done some fabric flips. Just got out my assortment of Christmassy fabrics and trims and made some flips. I made some pretty big ones because I knew I'd be making these large journals. And I love that the big journals are anything goes. There's no theme. So I can use these, the Grinch and the Rudolph characters and the candy canes, and I can use any of these novelty type of fabrics that maybe I wouldn't know what to do with otherwise in these anything goes journals. I love this. I just had a small piece of this fabric that was printed in red. The music dancing, dashing through the snow. Jingle bells. So I got some fabric flips. I don't know if I'll need more. This morning I have spent some time doing some decoupage, some Mod Podge. I have had a few Christmas napkins, so I did some Mod Podging onto some glassine bags. These are still damp, but this is the assortment of napkins that I had to put on them. This is a snowflake, very pale, but very pretty and elegant. And some of these I added some other napkin pieces on top. I'm going to set those aside because they still need to continue drying. They're not as absorbent as the other. Oh, sorry. I just knocked over my paper cutter. I turned around to put those that papers down, and I was afraid I knocked my tripod over. I'm glad you're still standing. Here's another gorgeous napkin. I only had this one, Partridge in a Pear Tree, and I love those colors. So I just glued it to a piece of ivory colored cardstock, and I'm gonna probably make pockets or tuck spots out of it. I'll have to cut that up. Still feels a little damp. And I did some tags. Obviously I'm going to have to trim the napkins off the edges. These are some long tags, repair tags. And then these are really fun. These are a folder, a vertical folder, and it has like a ledger inside. Wilson Jones Ledger Folder for use with Wilson Jones Shortcut Billing System. I do not know how old these are. I don't know if I purchased them from someone's shop or if somebody sent them to me in a Happy Mail. So I'm going to trim this one and see how it looks. And I held it up to one of the pages for my big journals to see if I'd be able to tuck this into a big pocket, and it looks like I will be able to. So that's why I went ahead and decoupaged the napkin to it. If it turns out that it's too big once I put a pocket on the page, I can always just paper clip it to a page. But I've had these for a while, and I thought it was about time I put them to use. I'm going to be real careful not to cut the fold on this edge. There. Wouldn't that be cute tucked into a pocket? There's the white border of the napkin there, but I can put a trim or an edge cut paper or something up there, and then you can open it up and journal on it. I love that. And I also, yesterday, I have this little embossing folder. It looks like a poinsettia, so I just did that on some red cardstock, and I'll probably rub some gold paint over that. And then I tried out this. These are dies that I got at my Stampin' Up! Friends yard sale. I got this one last year, and I did use it, I think, last year. I have to finish poking those pieces out, but it's just a sprig of holly. So I cut it out in a few different shades of green. And this summer at her sale, I got this set. It is a Sizzix Wreath die and embossing folder. So first I cut it out, and then I had to put it into the embossing folder, and they do have it painted black so you can see the design better, and then make sure it was lined up properly, and then put it through the embossing folder. The thing is, I realized that I couldn't line it up. I knew there's a space up here where the bow goes, no leaves were there, so I could match that space up with the embossing folder, but the leaves didn't quite match up. Then I realized all I had to do was flip it over and it would line up perfectly. So once it's all put together, it'll be like that, and I might rub some paint or something on them. So I have a few. Oh, that one lost a leaf. There it is. I can glue it down. But I like that the leaves are kind of cut out also, partially cut out, so that you can pop them up and make the wreath look dimensional. I don't know how old this is. Like I said, I bought this at a yard sale. And I had, when I was on vacation about a month ago, I was trying out some dies, and I cut these out, these fancy ones, with my foiled paper, my metallic paper. And I had put these with my boho supplies, but I remembered where they were, so I got them out because I can use some of these for Christmas journals too. So I don't know if these will go in the domestic arts journals, but I just got them out. And these are just more pieces. A lot of these were left over from my Christmas sweets journals. That's what I have prepped. And I think right now what I will do is look through the pages that I pulled from these books and think about some ephemera I can make with them. Some of them I will use as a page in the journal. What I love about this, see the patchwork on it? And it goes to the back. I was really trying to figure this dude out. Like, there's no hands here, but who's touching his shoulders? And then I realized he's wearing the white shirt and he's holding up this blue shirt. He must have gotten it for Christmas. Just letting you know in case you look at it and if you buy this book and you're like, what is happening with him? I think that's what it is. He's got the turtleneck tucked up under his chin, so it looks like he's wearing it. Anyway, I love this applique, and at the beginning of many of the chapters in this book, there is another appliqued picture. I don't think there were instructions on how to make these appliques in here. Maybe there were. I didn't look that close, but I think they were just decorative chapter pages. So I definitely want to use some of these pages in probably both journals, because there's quite a few of those pages. So I don't really want to cut them up. Look at all the detail. The lamp, they used a piece of embroidered trim for the wallpaper border. There are pictures hanging on the walls. Some elements on that sideboard. Children playing. People of all ages in these pictures. Just beautiful. Okay, so, alright, I have this, which is a cross-stitch pattern. I can make some ephemera with that. Here's some more pages I can use for ephemera. Okay. I could turn these into journaling cards. That would be fun. Just back them with cardstock, or yeah, cardstock, so you can write on the back. Something you can write on. And then maybe add some trim to the front and a pretty tab. I have these elements I could cut out. So these could be journaling cards or just little embellishments. This one's pretty cool. I like that. Oh, I don't want to cut them out. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I want to make embellishments out of them. I want to cut those figures out and tuck them into a pocket. I think I wanted to just put this on use it as a page. This is the wreath that goes with that picture. And this is the soldier for that pattern. Where's the pretty lady? There, they both are. All kinds of fun things. What else do I have? Okay, I want to do the tree and the snowman. I think they look better than those two. This won't be a very long video because my battery light is flashing already. I used my battery to do a short video showing postcards that I will be listing. I don't know if they will have already been listed when you see this video. I'm not sure what order the videos are going to go in, but anyway, it was a short video, so I thought I could just use the same battery, but it just won't be a very long video. There's candy canes and a bear holding a present. And then I want to look at the pages that came out of the other book and see what kind of things we might find there. I could cut this stocking out and make a big tuck spot out of that. One thing that I did last year in my big Domestic Arts Christmas journals was I cut out something big that would, let me get my cover here, that would kind of fill up this and made a nice pocket. So I need to find some images that I can do that with because I liked the way that looked. This one is, I think it's Mary Engelbreit fabric. And Santa's making a quilt. Look at all the dolls they made with Mary Engelbreit fabric. This is a fun page. This would have been great in those Christmas sweets journals. One of the images I used last year for that back page, I can cut these pieces out, or these, was a bed with a Christmas quilt on it. That made a really fun pocket. So I will look through these pages again, looking for something for the back page. But for now, let's look at the pages that are in this book. I already cut that out. And there's this adorable little house. I made some of the projects that are in this book because like I said, I had this book and I made some of the projects in it. Oh, look at that. That is so pretty. That goes on that tree. Such a pretty shabby chic looking page. So they had different themes of Christmas and all the projects that went with it. This was a farm theme. Look at the wall hanging there. These are fun figures. They have a front and back. I could cut them out and glue them together. So I have lots of things here I can cut out and use. This is one of the things I made. I made different sizes of those log cabin quilted boxes. There's cardboard inside them, inside each side, and you sew them all together. I made quite a few of them. Perhaps I could put that on the back, but I would like something with color. That would be nice. That might be too big. That would make a fun element on the back. No, I'll have to give it some more thought. But you see what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna just do some simple little pockets and tags out of these elements that I can cut out. I think I will use this on the back page. If I cut all around that and back it with cardstock, it would fit on the back cover and be a fun pocket. I might eliminate some of this so this would be the sturdier base part to it, but we'll see. I think that's what I'll do for this one. Let's see if I can quickly choose one for the other book and not bore you too much. This is pretty interesting. This whole section was making quilted cuffs and collars and aprons for your dresses that you currently own. They look pretty, don't they? I just can't imagine everybody wanting to do that. Now maybe I would cut one of these pages up to make a fun pocket to go with the cover of the book. That would be fun. So let's see if any of these would lend themselves to that. This one would, because it would be on the right edge of it, but I wish she wasn't so far over, but I could cut this off. Yeah, I think I could make that work. That's a possibility. This one is smaller and might work better, but it's on this side of the, I don't want it over there. This one would be fun too. Children making cookies. Maybe we'll do that one. Okay, we got our 2 pockets all picked out. So all I have to do is trim around them and then glue them to cardstock. Trim the cardstock, and then I will have a pretty paper on the back and then add the pocket to it. That'll be fun, right? Okay, I can do that right away and get the pockets set aside so I don't forget what I picked to do them. But I am going to let you go. You don't have to watch me cutting all these things out. I hope you got enough of a peek to see that you're interested in watching these books develop. So I'll be back with another video soon, and I hope you have a creative day today. Bye-bye.